Beautiful peoples, welcome. Welcome to Hood Philosophy, where we're going to discuss and maybe even answer some of life's biggest questions in a way that clicks with people from all walks of life. So I'm talking about the single mums, I'm talking about the teachers, I'm talking about the guides, the mentors, the people struggling with addiction, struggling with mental health issues. That's who we're trying to speak to, eh? If we can send some love and some blessings out to all you fellas, and maybe provide you with a bump to the start of the day or a little bit of motivation, then that's all we're looking to do, really, is just send that love out. So first and foremost, I'd like to give thanks just for all you beautiful peoples for taking the time out of your days to watch Hood Philosophy and get into the issues nice and deep, eh? We don't fuck around here. So my name's Z, and I'll be talking about shame today. Shame is very profound, eh? But before we do that, I'd just like to start with some quotes that I found in regards to shame. And I think after the last episode, these quotes are, how would I say it? They're profound, eh? Okay, so Viola Davis, actor. I was always so hungry and ashamed because you're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of the shame. Ice Cube. If you think about that stuff that happened when you were young, it stays with you forever. And that goes to what I was talking about, how we internalize that sense of shame, and we use it to create a story that that carries on and sticks with us for the rest of our life, and it guides the way we approach failure and making mistakes. Common, one of my favorite rappers. After I remembered it, I felt a deep and sudden shame for what happened. But at some point, you've got to let it go. And that goes back to what I was speaking about in regards to I've done things in my life that I can never make up for. There's going to come a time where I have to stop letting the past define my name, and I'm going to have to let go. Right now, I'm not quite ready because I believe it's just it is the motivation, and I don't believe that I've repented in a manner that would be acceptable for me to let go just yet. So I got one for you ballers, DeMar DeRozan, who grew up in Compton. I knew what it took when you walking down the street. If you can't look a man in the eye and you look away, you show where your heart stands. And that speaks to lots of what I was talking about in regards to shame and how that applies to the hood. It's like the way you shake hands, the way you give a brother a hug, the way you look a man in the eye, as DeRozan touched on. It's everything, because when you got fuck all, you got your pride, right? You got your identity, and that's another reason why shame's so profound. So I probably should have touched. I probably should have touched on that in regards to why we feel shame, and why it smashes us and leaves us with a lifetime of anxiety and procrastination and lack of motivation and just pure fucking fear. It, it it's like our feet are stuck in the ground and we're just frozen in time because we're so scared of being judged, of not being accepted, of not belonging, of not feeling fucking good enough. All right, so I got an interesting one. So Cheslin Kobe from South Africa, he's a rugby player, and he grew up in the Cape Town Flats. I don't know if you fellas know much about the Cape Town Flats, but fuck me, whoo! An image gets stuck in your head, but it can help you to humble yourself. It can take you back to where you've come from, and for me, them words speak to me in a way that I can't describe, and I know where I came from, so I know where I'm going. And as I was saying in the last episode, it's very humbling, right? Like when you know that you came from pretty much fucking nothing to a point where you can say that you're proud of how you live your life, is that's something, eh? Jesse Owens. So he was an African American runner, I believe, and he won 4 gold medals at the Nazi Germany Olympics in Munich, I believe. Munich or Berlin? Yeah. Um, and his quote is a little bit shattering, eh? So every child deserves to know they can be more than their circumstances. And again, it speaks to we can't let the past define who we are. We always got to be searching and looking to grow, and that means not for everybody, but it means climbing a ladder, right? And and whether that be because like you financially, in regards to passion, in regards to authenticity, we want to always be growing, and every child deserves to know that they can be more than their circumstances. Them circumstances aren't going to define them for the rest of their lives. Mike Tyson, oof, he my second favorite boxer behind Muhammad Ali. I've been as low as anybody can go and as high as anyone can go. And you can always overcome these problems that one may have. Resilience and just walking head straight into that notion of failure and making mistakes and understanding that you can make it through. And yeah, like, and even just in regards to behavior change and the notion that anybody can change. Because let's keep it real, Mike Tyson was a fucking beast. Eh? He was an animal. These are his words, not mine. And listen to the love he preaches these days. Eh? Like all he's looking to do is lead and guide and mentor and bring people together. And after the life that he's lived, you know, he grew up rough, he grew up tough, he done things that he can never make up for, but he's living a life well lived. Yeah. So Customado, for all you fellas that don't follow the boxing, he trained Mike Tyson. He trained Mike Tyson. All right. So boxing isn't just about fighting your opponent; it's about battling your fears. And this one doesn't isn't directly tied to shame, but it's battling your fears, right? So it comes back to doing the hard things, and no matter what, persevering, even if you fuck up, even if you make a mistake. Yeah, like beat yourself up, but then learn from it. If you're gonna beat yourself up, you have to learn from it. Okay, so I went searching, and I wanted to get some indigenous people's views and perspectives and quotes on shame, just because there's lots of black fellas in Nala, and I want to speak to them fellas as well, and hopefully one day we can get their quotes up on Hood Philosophy. Hey, real talk, that'd be cool. So we got Adam Goods. It's consuming, crippling, and takes away your sense of worth. It instills a deep sense of shame. It cowers you. It cowers you. It cowers you. It's consuming. It takes away your sense of worth. Oof. Oof. And I know he's speaking to the racism that he received from just fuckwits, you know? Like if you think that you're better than someone because of the color of your skin, real talk, you're a fucking idiot. There's well, let's just leave it at that, eh? Kathy Freeman. I dare say everybody knows who Kathy Freeman is. If you don't, you take you make that effort to find out who that is. So Kathy Freeman, I wanted to shout, look at me, look at my skin. I'm black and I'm the best. There was no more shame. I'm not sure when she said that. It'd be quite interesting to actually to know when she said that. I wonder if that was after she won the 400 gold back way back 96, no, 2000. Ooh, I still remember that moment. That was powerful, man. I wanted to shout, "Look at me, look at my skin, I'm black and I'm the best." There was no more shame. Again, again, we're we never gonna eradicate discrimination and the like and racism, but like I speak to you fellas who aren't quite sure if you got a little bit of prejudice in your hearts, eh? Explore that. Sit with that. And I know that's confronting, and you're probably thinking, who the fuck are you, Z? Well, I'm Z. This is what I do. I get people to think about the hard shit. So to all you fellas that and this is for everybody, like well, we can all discriminate against everybody, but especially in regards to, if you're a different skin color and you feel differently or you have interesting perspectives or just eat ass perspectives on someone that's a little bit different to you, I ask you to explore that. All right. Sam Thaiday. As a 13-year-old boy, I wanted to take my own life. I found myself too white to be black and too black to be white, and I didn't know where I fit in. Oof. That speaks to me personally. So my mum's Fijian Indian and my dad's Australian. And yeah, when you stuck in the middle, you don't know where you fucking stand, man. That shit, and the shame that you feel because you're not cultured enough for the Fijian Indians, and then you're not polite enough for the white fellas, and or you don't hold yourself in the same way as them, and it's like fuck, man. What am I supposed to do? And you know what you do? You assimilate in a sense. And you know what that means? You give up that sense of yourself and like ain't nothing good comes from that. Ain't nothing good comes from that. And and that's been around forever too. Like all this shit. Like everything we're touching on. But that's yeah. Racism is something that I'm very passionate about. You could say that I'm quite a racialized person. I'm not sure if that's because I'm half Australian and I did sit in the middle. I think it's just because I'm proud. Like I'm proud of every part of who I am, and it never used to. Yeah. Okay. So personal story in regards to shame. My old man was born in 1934. I was born in 1989. 55-year age gap. I felt shame that I had such an old dad. And sometimes I felt shame that I had an Australian dad because I had no, you know, because at that point in my life they were my pupils. I didn't know how to connect with them. I didn't know how to click with them. I like nothing, like there was nothing that they could offer me unless it was drugs or a good time or like you. Do you get what I mean? And it got to the point where, and now I feel a deep sense of shame in opening up and sharing with you fellas, but I know it's powerful when someone else shares. Like there's when you hear the person talking and they're talking about stories that actually happened in their lives. That's more powerful than me telling some other fella's story. I'd rather get somebody on here and we ask them about what have you felt shame for in your life in regards to the way you grew up and where you grew up and you know but yeah, it got to the point where I started telling people that my old man was my stepdad. And don't get me wrong, there was lots of context there in regard to we hated each other, eh? It wasn't until I I started helping out with looking after the old man in the lead up to him leaving us was yeah, there was nothing there. But we came to a mutual respect, and I felt like that. Oh, I felt like that he wasn't ashamed to say that he had a son like me. Like I felt like that maybe, just maybe, we'd reached the point where not only did he respect me as a son, as a man, but he loved me as a son. And I know that like me attending to his personal cares would have humbled him, and but like, I don't know, he's seen he's seen the worst of me, and then he's seen the start of the journey of the best. He just seen me trying to get better, and I don't know. I've let go. I don't feel shame telling you, fellas. It's probably something that lots of other people would feel shame over, and fair enough. Like, ain't no judgment from me. I used to call my dad my stepdad. Like that. Fuck. Obviously, I was ashamed of him, and he was ashamed of me. Okay, let's get into it. Why? Why? Because I was never good enough for the old man. Like, he was a man's man, and he just expected that I should know how to do shit. And when I didn't know how to do shit, he'd make me feel like a piece of shit. You know, all that. I was overweight up until 3 4 years ago. 130 kilos. I'm a little bit fitter now. A little bit, a little bit. But yeah, he used to throw it all at me, and like, the one word that I ask everybody not to use. And obviously, like, I can't tell people to do shit. I can't tell people how to speak, but I'm just asking you to understand the power of the word. Useless. Don't ever, don't ever let anybody internalize that word. There's, there's nothing good that comes from that word. It's, it'll destroy self esteem, confidence. It'll break down resilience. It's just, that word's the devil, man. Like, you'll hear me say some things are the devil, and for me, some of them words, like stupid, and another one is I don't like is shut up. Don't tell me to fucking shut up. Tell me to be quiet. If I'm annoying you, just tell me to be quiet. Don't tell me to shut up. Why you want to tell me to shut up for? You like being told to shut up? No, you don't. So why are you telling other people to shut up for? Especially your kids, man. I'm telling your kids to shut up. Ask them to be quiet. Do you understand how that makes them feel? Do you get that we internalize all this shit? Because I know that you've got it inside you. So why the fuck do you think that your kids aren't gonna do the exact same shit? How? Like, what takes you down that thought journey? Ah, that shit annoys me. You know what else we should feel shame over? You know what I feel shame over? Is the fact that I haven't mentioned Gaza and the Palestinian people on Hood Philosophy as, bro, the genocide that's happening in Gaza. So, as Muslims, we have something we call Ummah, and that translates to, I'm pretty sure, worldwide community of Muslims, eh? Well, right now we're weak, you know? I'm not going to delve much into politics on Hood Philosophy, but I just want to say my heart is always with, and has always been with, the Palestinian people. You know, fuck, man, children are dying every day because they can't have a feed, eh? Fuck that shit. We should feel a deep sense of shame over the fact that we live in a world that's allowed this to happen. And you're gonna say, "Oh, that's not me." I don't give a fuck. We carry on with our merry little lives in the lucky country, and we just turn a blind eye. Nah, they my brothers and sisters, so I'm gonna speak on that. Humanity, eh? Where the fuck's the humanity? It's heartbreaking, man. 100%. Even got me playing with my fingers and shit. And all for what? For what? Land and power and wealth Don't get me wrong, I get it. That's what makes the world go round. But that's a whole fucking people's, eh? You know. And if you are a Muslim and they're not here with you, then I beg of you to find a way to open your heart and yeah let them in, eh? Otherwise, how when you pray namaz are you gonna send the love, send the dua, send the blessings to a people that's being fucking exterminated, man? Hmm. And all right. So shame. I touched on identity before, and that's why we feel shame over so many fucking different things, right? So, what do we feel shame over? The way we look, the way we sound, the way we dance, the way we write, the way we read, every single fucking thing. You know why? It's tied to our identity. And then bang, this, identity, ego, but our identity, it's who we are. It's who we are. So when someone comes and say, "Hey, you know, you're a shit cunt because you do this," or you're weak as dog piss because you do this," or "Oh, look at you, you're reading a book, you think you're better than us." That's why it hits right there because it's you. That's you. And that's why bang the shame hits and we fucking frozen in fear, feet stuck in the ground. We don't know where to go. We don't know what to do. We forget our passions, we forget our dreams, we chase our desires. And for what? And for what? I just had a thought. All right, so this hood philosophy, right? Well, I come up with pretty cool quote the other day in regards to fear and and it had something to do with this. It was up in the group. We were talking about. I asked people what they were scared of, and and I'll get into the quote, but the quote is so fear of what we can control is insecurity. Fear of the unknown is respect. And the reason I came up with this quote is that males answer this question very differently to women and children. Every single male that I have asked, bar two, Ants gave me answers that were things that they have complete agency over, complete control. Things about being a better dad, becoming more financially stable, or things like that. And okay, and then you ask the women and the children, and they're like heights, planes, rock climbing. What else did I get? The ocean, cars. I got heaps of shit. Got a big long list. I'm so scared of fucking snakes, by the way. Snakes and heights. But okay, so the quote is a fear of what you can control is an insecurity. A fear of the unknown is respect. And we're going to start with the second part of that quote because the first part we're going to tie back to shame. I'm not sure how we're going to tie back to shame, but once this starts yapping, we'll get to it. So fear of the unknown is respect. Why? Okay, so three things that I think are the most dangerous things in this motherfucking world: the road, the ocean, Mother Nature. You know why? Because you can't predict them fuckers. There's always, oh man, terrible drivers. So many. So many. Everywhere. Everywhere. Make sure you fellas looking 200 meters ahead. That was the best piece of driving advice I ever got. But you know who else? What else is a good piece of advice on the road? Is expect fucking anything to happen at any time. At any time. That's that intuition is a very big one in the car. The ocean. Well, the ocean's got not only can it take you away, it can eat you up. Literally. Them sharks will get you, man. Maybe a whale will swallow you whole. But I love that shit. I love it. But it doesn't mean I'm not scared, man. It's just I'm not letting the fear guide the way I act. And I'm blessed in that regard. But I'm a water rat. And I love the ocean. But you know what I know? Is that I can get eaten. I don't want to get eaten, but I know I can. Same thing goes with the snake. I'm not going to come across that many, even though we got all the fucking snakes in the world. I'm not going to come across that many, but I know they can bite me. They can kill me if I'm in a spot where I can't be helped. Hui, inshallah, that never happens. I hate snakes. And so that's respect, right? So like that's me showing respect. So okay, I'll break it down a little bit. So when I go into these places, I'm always on high alert. I'm ready. I know what I need to do. I control what I can control, and the waves are going to come. Okay. Fear of what you can control is insecurity. Yes, insecurity. It's because you don't you don't feel like you're the dad that you want to be yet, and you're not happy with that. See, I'm not the dad I want to be yet, but I'm comfortable with that. It's a journey. Slowly, slowly, slowly. We don't want to rush this shit. Too hard, too fast, and I'll burn out, and I'll go back to the bad habits, and that shit instant. It doesn't take long to break a good routine. 1 or 2 days, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing that anymore. I don't need to show up today. Nah, no, you don't want to go down that path. You don't want to go down that path. That's why, like, I asked myself a question, and I know we're going off a tangent, but we're staying on shame. Can we use shame as a motivator? And what I landed with was only some people. Some people, and they have to have a couple of people that are ready to check them in regards to the truth, and they have to have hit some sort of rock bottom. And I'm just speaking from what I've experienced. Not me personally. That is a very personal experience for me, but just yeah, like fuck, I interact with lots of people, especially in regards to addiction and like mental health issues and just struggle and the like. And it seems like when someone feels like a shit cunt and they've got a couple people in their corner telling them that they're a shit cunt, but they're saying it for the right reasons and it's coming from the right place, and they're at the bottom and they have no hope and they're in that pit of despair. That's when shame can be a motivator. That's for me. Yeah, like in a positive sense. In a positive sense. Don't get me wrong. So like, say for example, we're playing rugby, right? And you pass me the ball, I drop the ball, and you turn around, bro, and it's like, bro, you're a useless fella. Like, why couldn't you catch that? Okay, so either so for me, that's going to motivate me. For others, that's going to crush their souls. But it's going to motivate. It's not a positive thing, eh? Like the only reason you got me to do better is because I feared the shame. I didn't want to feel like that again. That's the only reason I put in that effort. So for me, that kind of work is moot. So like if that's your quest for the best, you know? All right, we're gonna have to take a little bit of a break. Just a little bit of a break. I'll be back. Beautiful peoples, welcome back to Hood Philosophy. I trust you's all had an awesome break. So we'll start wrapping up the episode. But yeah, just before we went to the break, we were talking about how shame can be used as a motivation. And I believe that if you're getting better because you're doing it for someone else, then like I don't see how that's a positive motivation. But I can already see the argument on the other side. Let's have at it. Don't hold back. Okay, shame identity applies to everything. Everything. That's what guides our life, which is sad. Um, Shame. What does shame mean to me these days? For me, I just want to see less of it. I make it a point of being aware, being aware enough to know the impact that it has. And this isn't the last I'm gonna have to say on shame. I dare say we'll probably do another episode because I wanted to touch on shame in the Muslim community, and then I just wanted to break it down a little bit more because I think it's very important to talk about. Just because, like, fear of failure, I I didn't I didn't realize before how how much it ties into, but everything intersects, right? But like failure, success, growth, shame, it's the stories that we've created that guide us, and and it took away our agency. It made us so scared that we thought that we had to live by other people's standards. And for me, that's why shame is like cancer, man. Eh? It infects our body and then it just eats you up slowly, slowly, slowly. But keep it real. It's coming. So in the last episode, I forgot to ask you fellas a question, but it's not like you answer it in the comments box anyway. But we got to be consistent. I missed the day. I apologize, and I just ask. Um, I'm gonna ask you fellas. I don't want to know what you guys think. I want you to tell me one thing I can do to make the show better. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm going to be annoying you fellas about. It's a blessed day. It's the start of a new week. Did you set your intentions? How are you going to show up this week? I'm showing up with love, as always. I'm walking in greatness. I ask you fellas to join me, you beautiful peoples. And with that, I think we'll start to wrap up the episode. It's been a good one. I've enjoyed it. Got a little bit vulnerable. And it's good for you fellas to get to know me as we go through this process too, eh? Lost my chain of thought in the last episode. You know why? And that's why I didn't touch on my third core value in this one, because I hadn't put any thought to it. And that's not real preparation, you know? I want to be good at this shit. And I gotta find that balance of being prepared but not over prepared, because I think that's been one of the mistakes I've made. All right, I'm not gonna bore you with all that shit. Let's get to it. It's poem time. Bread. Heavy is the head, especially when we got to make that bread. When all your brothers locked up or dead, that's how it goes. A place where drugs and violence flows, where when push comes to shove, no one really knows. I know it all sounds so sad, but come on now, real talk, it ain't all that bad. Oh shit, when the hood comes out to play, fun and games. Looking back now, they were the days. Life was simple, don't get me wrong. Many, many men lived lives that were sinful. When that's all you know, it's on you. Build your rep, put on a show. Some men are tough, fuck, some rough, and the filthy few that just don't understand when enough is enough. Context matters. They never experience love. When all you know is to inflict pain, slowly, slowly, the guilt catches up. Nightmares and ghosts you can't contain. It's almost like you're going insane. This is a place where you learn very quickly to stay in your lane. Unchecked rage floats eerily beneath the surface. Men who seen violence that made them lose their purpose. All this leads to his misery and addiction. When you walk these streets, all you feel is friction. You can feel the trauma all around you. Don't think you can get vulnerable. That shit taboo. It don't matter what you go through, whether it's physical or emotional abuse. You ain't got no excuse, woman or man. This was the only plan. You don't get it. That's okay. We don't expect you to understand. Intergenerational suffering, unchecked retribution that will leave you shuddering. Hairs standing up on the back of your neck. Watch your back. There's many a bad man ready to keep you in check. Heavy is the head, especially when we got to make that bread. Too many souls lost, too many lives wasted. Enough said. Mic drop. Chee-hoo! Blessed day, beautiful peoples. Peace.